Oh, hello. All right.
Hey guys.
Kick butt today. We are happy to be in front of you today. Now, we have a lot to give to you guys, and we do not want to go over our time limit as far as we have been lately.
We promise that we will condense this one to 30
but we haven't been getting
tops.
We haven't been getting too many, or haven't been getting anybody to say that it's not worth it. So we're happy about that.
True.
But today we're going to teach you the first step in how to, or why it's even important to be blogging, and really, how is it that we can blog our way to the beaches? There's so many people who say, blog your way to the banks, or, make money through whatever kind of opportunity they have. But a lot of folks don't really
understand the big picture.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
See, they kind of see bits and pieces of it, but there's still a lot of the foundational dots that are missing for you to connect it all into this big grand picture of how exactly you can get into blogging your way to the beach. And for those of you who hopped onto our Facebook or, are coming off of our email list, then you guys got to see, that we titled this Blogging 101, Blog Your Way to the Beach. And the reason why we quotated beach instead of just leaving it as is because, we wanted to address the fact that everyone's beach, right? Everyone's dream looks different. For us, it's being able to be at home with our family. It's being able to spend time with each other and just, whatever it is that we want to do collectively as a family, that's what we want to do together. For you, it may be that your beach, right, looks like skiing, in the snowy mountains. Maybe for you,
it's on the golf resort,
maybe
hitting the clubs. Maybe it's
traveling the world, or maybe it's actually surfing off of real beaches in Australia. Everyone's beach looks different to each individual person because each individual person has a unique dream that they hold in their heart. And so, it's oftentimes when we present the opportunity to blog your way to your beach that people don't really understand the value of it. They see that it's cool, they see that people like it, but they don't really grasp why it's helpful for them. So Brandon and I put our heads together and we realized that, we wanted to address something that we've never done before. We've never put together a free 5-day workshop where we went into the nitty-gritties of helping people approach the value of what blogging can really do for them and how to go about setting everything up in a way that can help set their blog up for success. So we made the decision, and a lot of people said we were crazy because we're giving this 5-day workshop away for free. I mean, I'm sure we'll probably change that later down the road, but we wanted to give you guys just a lot of value.
Right now,
you guys are getting a huge opportunity because you're getting all of this valuable information we're going to share with you between now and Saturday, completely free.
And what's our promise to them? What are they going to get from attending every single one of these hangouts?
Well, our goal for everyone who attends all 5, right, is that you'll not only be able to discover how blogging is so valuable to you and how you can use it as a way to get you to your dream, to your beach, whatever that looks like, but also how you can go about, basically knowing who you're going to talk to in your blog, knowing if you're going to blog for your, for just pleasure, or if you're going to do it for a profit blog, if you want to make money from it.
And to even blow your minds, you have people right now that are listening that are going, okay, well, that's all great, but what am I gonna do, or how do I set it up, or I'm nervous about this. This is my first time ever thinking about that I can even do this, and I'm just here kind of listening, figuring out, gathering a little information. And we're actually, one of these days in this workshop, I think it's the 3rd or the 4th day in the workshop, we're actually going to go through this with you and help you set up your very first blog.
That'll be day 3. So don't want to miss that.
That's guaranteed. That means there's no excuse for you not to attend, because we're going to give you the whys, the hows, the everything.
The do's, the don'ts.
Exactly, on how to make this work.
We're going to show you how, one of the largest obstacles we've noticed in people not approaching blogging as a tool to help them make money or just to help them step into a different lifestyle for themselves is the fact that they see all these technical obstacles in the way and they just don't want to deal with it. Well, the cool thing is, like Brandon said, in day 3, when we address this, we actually walk you through and show you how ridiculously simple and quick it is if you choose the right platform.
And
right?
A lot of people right now who aren't really aware of what it takes to get things going, you might want to make things, you might look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and say, I want to make things happen. I want to change my life. But your beliefs behind the way things are actually, the beliefs behind how you have to get those things done are preventing you from actually taking action. So I actually heard a metaphor from one of our mentors the other day, and it was basically the horse and the rider. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so you folks out there that are looking or that are watching us right now, that are preparing your minds to receive this information, understand that your beliefs have to be in alignment with those thoughts, with those desires. Okay, because if not, it's the same thing as if you're familiar with anything that has to do with horses or them riding or being thirsty. Okay, if you're riding on a horse and you end up coming across a point where the horse is just thirsty, hasn't had anything to drink in days, and it comes across and it sees a river, a stream, something where it has fresh kind of water. Well, you, my friend, are going to do your best to just kind of go your way.
Yeah.
You're going to try to keep going your way. Well, the horse is going to say, well, you know what, I'm effing thirsty and I'm going to do what I want to do. And that is to appease what I know I need to take care of. And that is to basically survival. I need water. You know what I'm saying?
Basically what he's saying is like your beliefs are the horse and your actions is the rider. And if your
subconscious is the horse.
Yeah. If your beliefs, like the things that you've trained your subconscious to accept as reality, as like, the way that you live life right now, then it doesn't matter how many times you tell yourself, like, I want to go this direction. I want to go this direction. If you don't have that horse of yours, in check, then it's going to continue to ignore what you're telling your brain to do. And it's basically going to sabotage your success.
And that's why you want to be able to line up everything in all that. And so the beginning stages of opening your business, especially with us, it all begins with the blog. Okay. And now the beliefs behind that are typically how she was saying. It's like, okay, well, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to write about. I don't know what anything this.
I don't know any coding. I don't know HTML.
And that's why we set this whole boot camp or, boot camp. Yeah, this workshop. Yeah. That's why we set this whole thing up for you guys. For one, it's a ton of value that's going to help you guys break through, number one. Number two, it's actually going to be used as a training product for us and our team in the future. So we're going to be able to help you guys, right? Because it's something that we love to teach people is time compression. Okay. And so what we're able to do now is use this to help our future team members that have never even heard this information before.
Yeah. We normally what we're going to be walking you guys through in this next 5-day workshop is stuff that we usually reserve solely for people who lock arms with us and decide to work directly with us. This is like part of their 90
very
who are
surface
tuning
level
in right now. You guys are getting like so much for just a few minutes of your time. It's kind of ridiculous. This is why people say we're crazy.
And the reason why we feel even confident in sharing this information with you is because we've been in business for ourselves for about 18, 19 months now. And that was when our entrepreneurial journey began together. I can tell you that it's been a hell of a journey, okay? Because it brings out something inside you, not only to make that decision to step into something better and to, reach your full potential and see exactly what you're made of, but it takes another kind of adjustment, transition to start working with the person that you love. Now, we recommend actually doing this. We recommend joining forces with the person that you are, with your partner, and getting together on a unified vision and moving towards that vision together. That is very beneficial for the relationship. And that also comes together with your business. Because if you could actually take that vision and, provide a solution to people who also believe in that same thing you do, you can actually make a living on that. And that's where the blog comes in. But we were not aware of any of that prior to 18 months ago, right?
No, not at all. In fact, I always came from a very self-employed, employee-driven mindset. I always worked for other people. I always created jobs for my individual self to do. I created a lot of work for myself, right?
Fun.
And Brandon was very different. Brandon he was always I want to be my own boss. I want to be an entrepreneur. He knew that from when he was very young. And so when we met, it was kind of I'd never been around anybody like that. So it just threw me back, and it was a lot to take in, but it was exciting. And, because it presented me in particular with a whole new opportunity, because here I see somebody who's dreaming outside the box that I was used to. And for me, that was, like I said, that was really exciting. I mean, it was kind of scary because I'm like, okay, well, you go have fun with that. I know nothing about that, but honestly, I can credit my just desire to step into being an entrepreneur to Brennan, because he's the one who got me thinking about, opening up my own bake shop to begin with. I mean, of course, I went about making that bake shop a self-employed, job. I didn't do it right, but you live and you learn.
Yeah, we had no clue we were doing.
No, and so whenever we got presented with this opportunity, the same opportunity that you're being presented with today, where we had friends that were coming to us and they were saying for 7 months, guys, basically the same thing, just blog your way to the beach, blog your way to wherever it is you want to go. And we were looking at them
what are you talking about? How do you blog your way to the beach?
I don't understand what you're saying. I don't even know what a blog is.
Right?
What are you talking about? It's I don't understand you.
And so we made the decision finally when she was pregnant with our daughter to say, you know what, we're not going to have to know why this works. We're not going to know how it works. We're just going to look at the people who are making it work and believe in them and say, okay, well, if they're doing it, they're really no better than we are. You know, not to take anything away from who they are as a person, but it's the real truth. Anybody who's watching this right now, you watching this right now that is in this hangout, we're not better than you, just like you're no better than anybody else. And the way that we have been able to look at those people and take what they've learned, it's been able to transform our life. And without having our daughter born, without being in that position of saying,
no, she was actually already when we started.
Well, okay, so
we had made the decision that before she was pregnant that we wanted to do something different. We just had like no direction, and it wasn't until Savannah was already born where
we got presented with the thing. And it's like having a map. That's the way we equate it to when we talk about it. It's like having a map. And before we were aware of what we needed to do, we had no clue which direction to go. And then when we got presented with the vehicle to take us from point A to point B, it's transformed the way that we look at each other, it's transformed the way that we communicate with each other.
Oh yeah,
and it's helped our business or our income just grow, because now I'm not grinding the poker tables every night like how I was when we first met and how I was doing for years after we met. And I'm not taking time away from my family anymore. And I can credit all that. I mean, to get into the whole nitty gritty of the workshop right now, I mean, I want you guys to pull out your pens, pull out your pencils, because that's the big reason why we're here, is to help you do that same thing that we broke free from, which is that struggle of, you know, how much am I going to make today? To changing that mentality to how much can I provide to the marketplace today? And when you make that mental shift and you say, okay, well, instead of me, what can I take from these people and what is the world going to give me today? Mm-hmm. Okay, you make that mental switch and say, what can I provide to the world, right? Mm-hmm. Then that's actually when the raises come. That's when your income increases.
Yeah, why it seems like if you look at people in various like industries within the marketplace, why it seems as though some people just always get promoted, why some people just always, you know, get the big, you know, bonuses and stuff. It's not because they know different people, right? It's not because they came into their business at like the right time or anything like that. It's honestly because of the fact that if you go and you ask like every single majorly successful person, no matter what industry you choose to ask them in, they will all credit it to personal development. And part of a major portion of that personal development is that mental switch Brandon's talking about, is realizing that your purpose as an entrepreneur is to provide value. That's how you showcase, that's how you stamp your thumbprint on the marketplace. And that's how you start getting all of those, you know, bonuses and raises and extra sales and things like that.
And the cool thing about this blog is that, or being able to open your business based around your passions and your blog and your thoughts and all that stuff, is that you don't have to actually own anything right now. Like you know something inside of your heart that has changed your life or shifted the way that you do things. And that is beneficial. That's valuable enough for you to have made a shift, right? I can guarantee you it's valuable enough for other people to make a shift as well. So all we've done is been able to tap into a resource that's gotten our message out to the world, which is the same thing that we're going to show you to do yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And so throughout this whole week, okay, for those of you who decide to come back every single day, you're going to get the pieces in line, step by step, on what to do, on why it's important, how to actually pick up your, you know, how to define your niche and who to talk to in specific.
Who you should be sending.
We'll walk you through how to set up your first blog. We're also going to walk you through exactly how to come up with the content and then how to promote your blog so that you can actually get your first lead, hopefully by the end of this workshop. Okay, now if you follow everything that we do and everything that we say, that's our first goal, right? I mean,
we would love that. We would love for you to come back and say, right after we complete this 5-day workshop, I got, even if it's just one, it's just one lead from this. Like that would be what we would love to hear.
That would be amazing for us to hear from anybody out there. I mean, if you're already generating leads and what we're going to teach you is going to help you increase your leads, share with that too. It's not just the newbies that we're looking to help, even though you guys are why we're here, is to help you guys
we have found
have
that
to go through what we went through.
A lot of the information that we're going to be sharing with you in this workshop has actually helped a lot of, you know, seasoned bloggers, because there's some pieces of the formula that they weren't really doing correctly, or they weren't even aware that was important to their overall success. And they may have been generating results, but when they piece together all of what we're going to share, like they've been able to just take what results they were getting and expand on that and grow and scale. And
so if anybody right now is watching this and they're like, okay, well, I already know what a blog is, I already know what these things are, then these next probably 4 or 5 minutes, go up and get a glass of water or something like that, okay? But those folks who have no clue what a blog is and are still kind of learning about what the benefits of it are, we're going to cut really quick into this and share with that. And then we're going to go into what you're doing for blogging. Is it going to be for blogging for business or blogging for pleasure? So if those of you right now are watching this and wondering what is a blog, go ahead and explain that.
Okay, plain and simple, how I explain it to anyone who asks this question is that your blog is simply put, it's just an online site. I know that sounds like totally cliche, but that's what it is. It's an online site where you can provide your information to readers who are looking for that subject. Now, the difference between a blog and a website, right, is that websites are usually very static. They don't have a lot of changes. They're primarily for big businesses who sell products that are like Hollister, right? Like that's a website. That's not a blog, that's a website, because a lot of their products are the same. They only ever change or update their site as the seasons change. So maybe 4 times a year. Whereas a blog is changing constantly. Hopefully what we like to tell people is every day, at least, once a day, every day. Or at least like 5 times a week, right?
And if you look at I'll go ahead just to butt in on that real quick. Hollister also has, if you look at their stuff, I would bet 10 to 1 that they have a blog on their site. And that's one thing that a lot of traditional website makers, they're kind of like afraid of the blog, right? Because they're thinking that it's going to just replace the website, which technically it is, because it's just better.
But in a good way.
But you can actually put the blog on a website. So you don't have to lose. If you already have a standard website right now and you're like, okay, well, how do I make this work?
Crap. Yeah, like now I have to delete my whole website.
No,
you can attach, there's multiple ways that you can attach your blog to a website if you already have one, just to help it expand. And we can teach you guys how to do that. It's very easy as well. But basically it's where you pick a specific topic for your blog and you just share information about that topic. I like to liken it basically to magazines. Like if anyone knows Entrepreneur Magazine, hopefully you do. It's
awesome magazine.
It's basically like approaching Entrepreneur Magazine and knowing without a doubt that every time you open that magazine, you're only ever going to see or read things about entrepreneurial lifestyles, success tips on building businesses, the benefits that come from being an entrepreneur. You're going to find those things themed out throughout every single article they post in every magazine that they publish. You're never going to find things outside of that sphere. A blog is basically the same thing. You pick a general theme of what you want to talk about, and then
something that you enjoy talking about.
And then you simply like expand on those topics that are within that theme. That's what you're doing. And then we also if you've been to any of our hangouts before, we know that some of you who are on here have, so you've heard us say all the time that your blog is your home on the internet. And so if you are looking to use a blog as a way to make money, right? Because that's what we said, blog your way to the beach. Well, you kind of need money to get to the beach, and so if you're using it to make money, it's your home on the internet. If you're attempting to make money online, you need a real estate space, right? You need like your brick and mortar online.
And this is great for those people who don't have anything that's like, you know what, I just want to make money online, but I don't have a product and I don't want to be attached to a company and I don't want to be doing anything. You know what I mean? This is a great way for you to brand yourself and your authority and your expertise in a certain area or field. Like you mentioned, that's help transform the way that you live your life.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, if a great example for anyone who's on here is Ree Drummond, the Pioneer Woman. She built a blog. She's now on Food Network because she built a blog writing about food and her home lifestyle on the ranch with her kids. And she's now got a successful show, a book line, cookware coming out, all of that.
And if you all watch that show, you can tell she is not a personality. She's not like the TV personality that everyone's used to. You could tell that she's like a blogging, stay at home. Like I love.
Yeah, like a lot of her jokes are really like homebody jokes.
And that's great because like we mentioned before is that you don't know who's going to come across your blog. There was the story, what's her name? Kate from Pitch Perfect, who was reading the just to tell
one
a
of
story
our
about
friends,
how powerful
Amy,
blogging is.
she was reading, I think it was like in Cosmo magazine, she was reading an interview with Anna Kendrick, and the interviewer was asking Anna like what something she likes to do in her spare time, I think it was, and she actually admitted that one thing she loves doing is spending her free time reading baking blogs, because she really enjoyed how baking blogs, every time you bake a new creation, you always have a small victory, right? You cooked that cookie really well, or you didn't burn the cake. Right. There's all these small victories that happen in that baking process. And she said she really appreciates being able to feel as though she's a part of those small victories with every baking blog she reads.
So just imagine if you put a blog together that got read by
Anna
Kendrick or Oprah Winfrey or somebody in your field who's actually going to take your business and go, wow, like the Pioneer Woman, I'm going to give her a TV show. You know what I mean? Like that. Those are the way that things happen. You have a lot of these quote unquote stars that got, which I believe that everyone has the star ability inside. That's why I do the air quotes. It's because everybody has that extraordinary talent about them, but it's just on whether or not you're going to put it out to the world. A lot of people, they hide their light underneath a bushel, you know what I mean? And they don't allow themselves to be seen. When, if you were to be that light and step out into the world, you're going to allow people to see what you're really made of. And you'd be surprised at what you attract. It's going to be a lot of eyes that are going to encourage you, inspire you, and help you become a better person, and that's going to just feed that fire of, wow, I can provide more to these people because they actually like what I'm doing.
Yeah. Ultimately, guys, your blog is where you're going to come online to where you can share value. You can share messages about who you are, what your story is, like the struggles that you've overcome, the vision you see for the future. Maybe it's how you want to help people. Like, this is where people will come on their time, right, to learn more about you, because the more that you can share valuable information with people, the more you can help overcome other people's challenges that they're experiencing right now, then the more people can come to know you. And if people can come to know you, then they'll eventually feel comfortable with trusting you and then liking you. So if you can get people to know you, like you, and trust you, then you can make it so much easier for them to feel comfortable with buying from you, right? Helping provide that beach fund of yours, right?
And a lot of you right now, I feel like there's some people asking right now saying, well, what are they going to buy from me? I don't have a product. And that's what we love getting with our team members about. It's not about what you see out there. It's about what you believe can be done out there. And if you believe that you could do something that's not created yet, that's why we're here to work with you as a team, so that we can get that idea to fruition, so that we can start maybe changing the world in a way that was never changed before, because of the idea that you just had that's never been done before. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't think about, okay, well, I don't have a product yet to sell, because you are your product. People are your product. Mm-hmm. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're going to want to be able to get yourself out there and say, what is it that I could do?
Yeah. What is it that, like
your training, your thoughts, actually the way that just like your time. It's crazy how people will actually pay for you to sit down with them and just share with them things that like that to me is the best kind of rewarding, fulfillment kind of pay that you could get. A lot of people get paid to like go to work for, like how we used to with restaurant servers. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't fulfilling for me. That might be for some. But if I could get actually paid from helping somebody else break through and become a better person, I don't think there's a better way to get paid than that.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, ultimately, like, that's what it comes down to. It's being able to tap into, what it is that that can help someone else, right, who was in the position you were at, building a relationship with them, and then just solidifying that whole circle to where now you're looked at as like the go-to person. Like, that's what your blog does for you.
And if you're looking to blog for pleasure, it's totally fine. You can blog for pleasure, and we encourage that. You know what I mean? Like, you can have multiple blogs actually on our platform, which is one of the big keys on why we are ahead of the game. You don't have to have any tech savvy skills or anything like that, which we'll go into a little bit later. But with what we have, you could have, a blog for your pleasure. Say that, you want to blog for just your life, everything that you do every day, which for a lot of us is wild array of sorts of things. So you could have like a, go ahead.
I was just going to say like that. That's actually a question that we get most often, right, is people who decide to lock arms with us. Like, they decide to start blogging, and then they're like, okay, cool, I got my blog. What do I blog about? Like, am I doing this? Like, it's just this constant like stall. Like, what do I do? Okay, well, what do I do now? And so we like to sit down and ask the question, okay, well, ultimately, and be honest, because either answer is totally okay. Would you like to blog and make money from what you blog about?
Right.
Or would you like to simply talk about, something that you find pleasurable, like a passion of yours? Is there an idea you want to bring awareness to? Right. Is there a cause you're associated with that you'd like to share with the world? If you want to blog and just share value, just to connect with others, then that's totally okay too.
We can teach you how to make money doing that too.
Exactly. But if you're like, if you realize that, yes, okay, if I'm taking the time to put a blog together and I would like to make money from it, then we can help you go through that as well.
And it's a lot easier and a lot more fun when you become clear on who you're talking to, though.
Yes,
because we'll be honest with that, because you can get it done the other way. It's going to take a little bit longer. And it will take more skills because there's
Yes.
different kind of tactics that have to go into where you're talking to more of a crowd. But when you get in tune with, like, that's why we say to have multiple blogs, because if you want to talk about your family, that's one specific thing. And then if you want to talk about, say, your workout, like your CrossFit, you know, that's separate from your family, but it's still important to you. You can talk about that. And then if you want to talk about your business, which is another separate thing, right? Which has nothing to do with CrossFit or your family, but yet has everything to do with both of those, right? You can still tag that in there and have that to something that you blog about. And that's why we encourage folks to, you know, really dive into something specific at first.
Because remember, this is your blog is your online magazine. So as soon as you pick, if you want to blog for business, right? You want to make money from it. Or if you just want to blog for pleasure, you know, that's when you can start getting a clear vision of your next step in terms of, because if you look at magazines where, I honestly don't remember their names, but I know they're out there because I have seen them sometimes, where you flip through it and you're like, what am I reading? Like, I have no, like, what am I looking at right now? Like, because everything that they're talking about, every page is something totally different and you're just confused. That's kind of what we like in pleasure, you know, blogs that are just for pleasure, like nonprofit blogs too, because you do have the freedom, if you choose, to blog about anything and everything. And we've seen plenty of blogs like that. But if you want to blog with the intention of making money from it, you're going to want to pick a theme. This is when you're going to, you know,
or niche.
Exactly. And we have a day, which is tomorrow, where it's dedicated to helping you pick your niche and then how to bridge the gap of, you know, your business with what it is that you're passionate about. Right. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But this is ultimately where it comes down to. If once you decide that you see the value in blogging, your next step is deciding, do I want to build a blog that'll make profits? It's going to bring me money. Or do I want to just talk about stuff?
And for those folks who are there asking, you know, maybe you're asking yourself right now, if I talk about business, if I blog about business, can I mix any kind of pleasure in it? Or like you said, Brandon, does it have to be separate? And that was going to paint our next picture, which is going to be, no, we encourage you to mix storytelling in with your business blog. If you're going to be blogging for business and blogging for profit, you have to be very good at storytelling. You've got to be great at it, as a matter of fact.
Because facts tell, but stories sell.
Exactly. And people want to relate to you. They want to, it's like, what did he say? Jim Rohn, he says, okay, you go to buy a car. Let me equate this to this. You're going to buy a car. You see the salesman come up to you, the car salesman, he walks up to you and he says, you know, hey man, how's it going? You interested in buying today? And he said, yeah, man, you know, I want that car right there. And he says, okay, cool, let's go around to the back. You follow him around to the back. He pulls out the owner's manual and he says, okay, let's start with the front right wheel.
Page 1.
Okay, and then he goes into all of these exact facts, right? That would kill you. That would make it to where you were no longer interested in what was being said, right? Okay, well, that's exactly how it is here. You want to be able to storytell. You want to be able to get in there and say, okay, well, ask the right questions so that you can get behind their core desire of buying. And then you can help them make an educated decision based off of their needs. That's why we're here. And storytelling can actually have more of an impact on their buying decision than any amount of facts that you ever regurgitate out of your mouth.
Yeah.
So just know that when it comes to storytelling, it's not like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell a story. There's a formula. There's a formula that we can't,
psychological formula.
And we're not going to go into that right now because that could take another 5 hours. Plus, we're like bound by like NDAs and stuff like that, not to even talk about this thing to anybody else. So there's certain things that we've taken advantage of in our business that have helped us become better storytellers that we give, you know, access to, or we give access to, to our team. So in closing, you know what I mean? You want to take over and tell them exactly why, you know, what they've learned since they've been here today?
Yeah. So if you've tuned in this whole time, which hopefully you have, you've been paying attention this whole time, then you've gotten to come to discover like really the value in a blog, like how whether you knew what it was before or you're just now realizing it, you've come to see that a blog is really nothing more than just your online magazine, and you get to be the editor-in-chief. You get to decide what goes in it, what you want to talk about. And as soon as you discover if you want to use that online magazine of yours to make money from it or just to share as free value, you know, that is your next step in getting a clarification of the direction you should go in, which leads into tomorrow's topic. But ultimately on your blog, you can give anything away. You can sell vitamins, makeup, bars of soap, candles if you wanted to. Like all of that is completely possible in the realm of your blog once you decide, do I want to make money from my blog or do I just want to use it as an outlet to connect with people? And so hopefully you've gotten a general idea of what it is you would like to blog about. And now that you have that general idea, we're going to give you an opportunity right now. It should be showing up in about 30 seconds, where you're going to have access to the exact same blogging platform that Brandon and I use for our business, right? And the cool thing about this is that we're actually offering a trial period for anyone who still may be a little timid about the whole blogging experience. You guys can get a 7-day trial period where you can test out just how simple and easy to use. Okay. Where you can test out and see how easy it is to put this thing together. And then once you see how you can get set up and going in like less than 10 minutes, all of those fears that you may have that's keeping you from putting your passion out there, all those fears you may have about, sharing value that can make you money, it completely disappears as soon as you see that there's nothing stopping you other than just maybe thoughts in your head. But we can help you overcome that. Now, once you decide to get access to that, if you're on Google+, you should see it to your side. If you're on Facebook, you should see it below. But once you make that decision, don't worry, don't feel like you're going to go at this alone, because you're going to get this 5-day workshop, but you're also going to get Brandon and I, and we'll quite literally be waiting for you on the other side to help you set up your blog, help walk you through where to go, what to do, and to get you started fast. So you don't have to stay stuck in feeling overwhelmed with what's happening. So if your ultimate goal is to use this blog to say, make money so that you can go buy that shiny new car that you've been staring at the lot for the last 6 months, or maybe, you want to move your family to that nice big house in that gated community.
Or maybe you're looking for that first time actual residual type income that can allow you the freedom to make money when you're not working in your business.
Exactly.
That's all available to you right here. And we also,
but you have to make the decision first.
Yeah. I mean, we also, like she said, we have hands-on. And if for anybody right now who might be thinking, well, how do we know? Because I know I ask that a lot. I ask that a lot to people, because I am a person who loves to just know. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes that bites me in the butt. But, we want to offer you the security to know that what we say is true. And if you have any doubt in your mind that we're not going to be there waiting for you on the other side, I just want you to go through these past, 60 days and see how many days. Now, just imagine when we know that you're committed to your business as much as we are, just imagine what else you're going to get from us if we're giving this to you right now, every single or 6 days a week for no charge. You see what I'm saying? So just think about that when you're trying to, maybe be the skeptic that some people are out there. It's just in our nature to raise questions and say, I doubt this man, or I doubt this woman. I doubt what they can do. Well, look through, see how often that we're coming up and showing up to work because we just love you and we want to see you succeed. That should be proof enough right there that we're going to be there for you. And now what happens on the other side, a lot of that is going to do with your work ethic. But us, you can count on us being there. That's for sure. So I hope that you guys found value in today's message. If you did, don't hesitate to click the button wherever you see it right now, because we will be waiting for you and we will be there to show you a better way. So come back tomorrow. What are they going to be learning tomorrow? Tomorrow,
guys, we're going to be talking about blogging 102. We're going to help you guys finally determine what niche you want to attack with your blog.
Which is powerful.
Yes, because as one of our mentors says, the riches is in the niches.
That's right. And so if
you want to know what type of niche you should be targeting, what type of niche you should be talking to, as well as how you can bridge the gap between maybe if you want to blog what you're passionate about with making money. We can teach you how to do that in tomorrow's workshop, but you have to come.
So tell your friends, show it with a group. Okay, take some notes tomorrow, come prepared, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m., guys. Enjoy your day.